Hello, I'm Paul Pluta and welcome to the Paul Pluta channel. Today I'm doing paid reviews. So guys, remember, like, subscribe and tell your friends about my channel. Remember guys, man cannot live on Google Ads alone. No, man cannot live on Google Ads alone. So remember guys, paid watch reviews keep me full-time. Sponsoring me on Patreon keeps me full-time. Phone calls, $50 for an hour on the phone, keeps me full-time on YouTube. Okay, here we go. We're jumping straight in. Hello from Castello. I am a proud member of the Brisbane Watch Forum on Facebook, and I highly encourage any watch enthusiasts who are watching to join. I've sent you $20 to help me decide on my next purchase. My dilemma is that I love the Speedmaster man on the Google Ads moon, but the lack of date kind of scares me. I have 3 watches that I'm looking at, and I need the Pontiff to help sort it out. Number 1, Speedy man on the moon. Number 2, Speedy 3576.50 moon phase. Number 3, Tag Heuer Autavia. The Speedy man on the moon is an icon, timeless classic, and a good value with the big box. The Speedy 3576 moon phase is a useful complication with the date and moon phase, but at the end of the day, it's not a true moon watch and will not have the big box. The new 2017 Heuer Autavia has a lot of useful features: chronograph, dual time, bezel, date window, and it looks pretty sharp with the reverse panda dial and beads of rice bracelet, but at the end of the day it is a tag. What do you think, Arch? Stick with the classic icon or branch out into other offerings with a date? Should I mention that this will be my first luxury watch? Okie dokie. Let's look at this Castello. Now Castello, I gotta tell you the truth there. Very good you've come to the Pontiff. I do apologize for this review taking a little bit of time. I've been busy. I gotta be honest with you. The Speedmaster man on the moon, that is the one with the 1861 movement. The Halcyon glass. It's the classic. It is the classic Speedmaster. So that is definitely the one I would go for. Simple cut and dry. Now, if we look at this other one, the moon phase, which has got the date, don't go there. Don't go there, okay? It's really, don't go there. And the Tag Heuer Autavia. The original Autavias are very, very collectible, very, very valuable watches. These reissues, no, I wouldn't be buying it. Not for me. I'm sorry. It's not my cup of tea there. I really do think you've got to stick out of those 3 there. I would definitely go Speedmaster man on the Google Ads moon. Man on the moon. That's where you got to go, man. You got to go there. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. You can't get an Autavia. I mean, it's not a terrible watch. It's not a terrible watch, but okay, what would I do? If you need a date, what would I do? Well, let's have a talk about that. There are many, many great choices out there. Let's have a talk about this. You know what I'd do? If you really, really, really do need the date, why don't you get a Breguet Type 20. Breguet Type 20, they got 2 models. They've got the Transatlantic with the date and the Erin-Vale without the date. Now I've got the one without the date because I quite like the aesthetics without the date, but you could easily get the date one. Have a look at those. They are exceptionally good buying on the used market. Breguet Type 20 Transatlantic. It's sensational buying. So that's where I'd be going. If you want to date chronograph, I'd be looking at the Bregster, the Breguet. And I got to tell you, the servicing costs, I had to get mine serviced by Breguet, wasn't ridiculous, about $1,000, which, considering Breguet is Breguet, it's not too bad. It's also Hortorology. It's a great heavy-hitting brand. I got to tell you, the Breguet is the reason I got into chronographs. I didn't even like chronographs until I saw a Breguet Type 20. So if it's got the power to move the Pontiff, that could be a really good choice. The other great watches I would consider, there's many, many great watches. What about something from Tudor? Now, Rolex, with their chronograph on the Daytona, they don't have a date. Yes, that's true. But you look at some of the Tudors in the offering there. There's some really cool Tudors. And one model that springs to mind is the Monte Carlo. That was such a retro 70s funky, cool watch. I reckon that has got legs. So I got to tell you, the Monte Carlo Tudor itself, that's a highly collectible piece. The original ones go for big bucks, and it's a very cool. Comes on a NATO and a steel bracelet. Very cool. Get a choice of a blue or the black one. I think the blue one is a little bit cooler, but the black. I own the black one actually. I did own the black one, and I loved it as well. That's a great choice. The other watches I would consider, I tell you, a fantastic icon, the Breitling Navitimer. I know some of the Navitimers just use a Valjoux 7750 movement, but the whole thing about Breitling is it's that beautiful dial. The beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dial. I'd forgive the movement just for that beautiful dial. A Navitimer is an icon. It's a classic. It's a fantastic watch. And I got to tell you, I owned a Breitling. I had the old Navitimer, which it's to do with the positioning of the eyes. The date was at 3. It was 6/9/12. Okay, now the later versions, they've changed it back, but I really loved it. I loved it. I really did love it. I thought it was super cool. It was a really cool watch. It was a really, really cool watch. And that's a piece with a date. So I would say, if you must have a date, you've got a lot of choices in that genre. Personally, if I had to pick a chronograph, I reckon the Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon with the big box is just killer. But if it really bugs you, Breguet. Breguet's so cool. Tudor. Something from Tudor, like a Monte Carlo. A lot of good Tudors. And maybe a Navitimer. What do you think? So that there is a number of chronographs with dates. So I think if you're going to buy an Omega, you buy the proper, the manual wind, speedy with no date. That's what you got to do. But if you want a date, there's a lot of good choices there. That competition space is very competitive, and there's some great models out there. So you're not going to be alone. So in my opinion, you got a lot of good watches to decide on. Think carefully. Enjoy it. It's very good to savor this first watch. This is something, whatever you do, think hard and keep it. Don't ever sell it. Don't ever sell it. It's your first true luxury watch. Enjoy, love, worship. Doesn't matter how shit business goes, how fucked your life goes, you keep that watch forever. I'm Paul Pluta. This is the Paul Pluta channel, your first choice for premium watch reviews and opinion. Remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends, fuckhead and otherwise, to watch my channel. Paul Pluta, the Governor's Governor.
Okay.